da 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 da. Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Welcome. The Choshev CEO, Rabbi Yossi Klein, came in for how long?
Tonight. Till tonight.
For one day.
Came in on the cloud.
Probably paid for it with your own money.
Yes.
As usual. Favos? Azai. I'm Shagas. Uh-oh.
We need to step in for a minute.
Going behind you.
I'll go behind. Two sides?
Something for Yossi?
Yeah, we need to borrow this.
Okay. Do I step out?
No,
You can stay right here. You're fine.
You don't go anywhere.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Over the last 7.5 years, Noam and I have had the privilege of helping organize many of the gifts and the presents that have been presented to Reb Eli at the completion of all the Masechtos that we've learned over the last 7.5 years. Every Siyum has given us another opportunity to express a small measure of gratitude that all of us feel of what Reb Eli and MDY has brought into all of our lives. As we begin thinking of the upcoming Siyum HaShas, now just 1 year away, we asked ourselves, what could possibly be an appropriate way to mark such a moment? After all, how do you adequately show appreciation to someone who has spent years showing up every single day without fail, helping tens of thousands of Yidden learn Torah, grow in Torah, and stay connected to Torah? And then it hit us. Over the past 7.5 years, together, we have had the privilege to complete Torah Shebaal Peh. What could be more fitting than marking that achievement with the completion of a Torah Shebiksav? With that in mind, we are excited to announce a project that we hope will unite the entire MDY family. 1 year from now, at the Siyum HaShas, we plan to complete and dedicate a Sefer Torah for MDY in appreciation of Reb Eli and everything he has done for this incredible community. And to underscore this significance, as Reb Eli just mentioned, Rabbi Yossi Klein flew in here, of course, on his own dime for under 24 hours, maybe even less than that, to be here today to help launch this campaign. That alone speaks volumes of what MDY has become and how much this community means to so many people around the world.
The Sefer Torah is not simply a gift. It's a symbol of our collective Hakar Satov. It's a way of saying thank you for the countless hours, the endless preparation, the daily consistency, the inspiration, the friendship, and the unwavering commitment that Reb Eli has shown to every one of us. Every single day, no matter where we were in the world, MDY, and no matter where he was in the world, MDY and Reb Eli was there. The shir was there, the preparation was there, the energy was there, the commitment was there. Some of us joined because we wanted to finish Shas. Some of us just to learn a daf. Some joined for chizuk. Some joined because we wanted to be part of a community. But I think it's fair to say that nobody watching this can honestly say that the shir had zero impact on their lives. For some, it changed the course of their lives. For others, it helped them through difficult times. For many, it simply gave a daily connection to Torah that otherwise might not have been there. Whatever your story is, Reb Eli has been there every single day, making sure there was a great cheer waiting for you.
Today, we want every member of the MDY family to contribute We want to give every member of the MDY family an opportunity to be part of this expression of gratitude. On the screen, we'll put it up soon, you'll see various sponsorship opportunities and participation levels. Whether you choose to sponsor a word, a pasuk, a parsha, or any other level, our hope is that every member of MDY will have a share in this Sefer Torah. Because this isn't Noam's project, and it isn't my project. It belongs to all of us. The Sefer Torah should represent the thousands of people whose lives have been touched by MDY and by Reb Eli's dedication to teaching Torah every day.
A year from now, just a short year from now, when we stand together to see Shas and celebrate the completion of Shas, we want to be able to say that this Sefer Torah was written by the entire MDY family. A Sefer Torah built letter by letter, word by word, and parsha by parsha, by people whose lives were enriched through this kehillah, through this community. A Sefer Torah that will stand as a lasting symbol of gratitude, appreciation, and the power of what can happen when Jews around the world come together to learn Torah. And most importantly, thank you to MDY and to Reb Eli for everything you have given us over the last 7.5 years. Any donation above $720 will have their name woven into the mantle of the Sefer Torah as a lasting reminder of our Hakar Satov. Today marks the launch of the MDY Sefer Torah project. To commemorate this special occasion, with Rabbi Yossi flying in, we'd like to present Reb Eli with a plaque marking the beginning of what we hope will be a historic journey for MDY, a journey that will culminate, Be'ezras Hashem, with the completion of a Sefer Torah at the Siyum Shas next year.
Wow.
May we all be zoche to complete this Sefer Torah together, complete Shas together, unite Torah Shebeksav and Torah Shebel Peh, and continue growing together for many, many years to come.
Wow. Rabbi Yossi, wow, beautiful. Oy. Okay, where we put it? We put it over here. Put it down in front. Shkoyach. Wow. A little look. My entire life, I wanted to. The last good few years, I wanted to write a Sefer Torah, and didn't work out as I. So wow. Behemes, I'm a little lost for words. Yishkoyach, very emotional. Thank you very much. Yishkoyach Gol Moed. I want to be mishtatef. I want to be part of it. I want it to be my Sefer Torah. I want to be the first one to give. So if it's okay, Reb Yossi, I want to give $30,000 to launch it off. What do I get for $30,000?
Write your name in the back.
I get the whole Sefer Torah.
Two Sefer Torah.
Wow. Okay, it's a chapter, another chapter in the book.
It's amazing.
Shkoyach, you couldn't have picked a better day. Now I'm lost. My focus is lost. Yishkoyach. Wow. Okay. When are we starting?
Now.
What, you have a cipher? No? Gewaldig. Wow. Unbelievable. Okay. No, it's a perfect, it's okay. There's no better gift than this. What could it be? It's unbelievable. Siyum Shas, Sefer Torah. Unbelievable. Mamish unbelievable. Shkoyach Gadol Ma'od. Wow. You didn't have to come in for that. This is where you came in? So. And to speak to him.
Thank you. Now you agree.
Yeah.
The 30, get your picture on the Sefer Torah.
Okay, we go. What is this? Hello. Wow. Okay, not so bad. Not so bad. 12 minutes in. Beautiful. So we're not going to do emails or anything. That will leave for tomorrow.
Sponsors.
Wow. The official edition MDY Shas. Masechta sponsored by Zevin Yael Shulhoff. Very emotional. Bemis. Daf Lamed Hey. Evan J. Blumenthal. Happy birthdays, Hebrew and English, to my father, Reb Dean Blumenthal. Admei Vesim Shona Love Aryeh. Shir sponsors Masechta David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meir, Reb Shmuel Baruch, Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levracha. The Palachik Family Foundation, gratitude to the consortium and the alliance and all they do to support MDY. Anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruch Nis Uwe Gashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny. Anonymous for complete refor Shlema and Arichas Yom to Leah Bas Esther. B'Yom and Daniel Rosenfeld, Berius V'Simcha. Ari Simon refor Shlema Avi Meir Baruch Ben Miriam. Anonymous refor Shlema for Rabbi Yerucham Ben Yehudis and Avram Yeshaya Ben Slava Dvar Amen. The Spanish year sponsors, weekly sponsors, wishing the MDY family continue Hatzlacha and Siyat D'Shmaya. Shmuel and Ahuva Schuster, memory of Hayalda Shendel Hertzberg Aleh Shalom, the 8-year-old. By Robert Early, Preston Harris Group Recruitment, make money from the shir, give back to the shir. Yomi Shoner, learning from Robert Early with gratitude to Hashem for everything. Daily sponsors Anonymous in honor of Yossi K and Arya Simon. Hashtag MDY family. Anonymous.
I'm getting messages. People, save me this parsha, save me this parsha, save me
MS?
this parsha. MS. Donnie just took a parsha.
A whole parsha?
Donnie took a parsha.
How much is a parsha?
It says on
What? 36. Donnie? You take people are taking the bar mitzvah parshas.
Donnie took Chullin.
Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? From?
Silver Spring, Maryland.
You were here on the day that they announced the Sefer Torah when I cried like a 2-year-old. I'm still crying. What's your name?
Elliot.
Shalom Aleichem. You're in yeshiva here?
Yeah.
Where?
In Gush Etzion, Yeshiva Har Etzion.
Very nice. Shalom Aleichem. And you, what's your name? Shalom Aleichem. Nice to meet you. Okay.
Gary.
Gary Ben Moshe?
It's blowing up.
But
Oh my gosh.
Today, the whole thing's covered, it's done, that's it. Jump in, people, now.
Okay, these are just the people that are up in America. What time is it in America? 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be able to concentrate today.
Sorry. Let's go back to share.
Wow.
You're getting a scroll. Can you help them with that scroll?
Oh. In honor of Yossi K. and Ari Simon. What happened in Yossi K. and Ari Simon? I heard something. Anonymous, bracha atzlacha, mazel, parnasa, health for my family, myself, and all Klal Yisrael by Anonymous. Amen.
Someone took a Chumash. Voracious already.
You're joking?
No.
So maybe we need 2 Sefer Torah. 1 minute, time out. How much is a chumash?
10,000.
Who just took comparisons? Wow. For a minute. But it's not fair. You got to leave something for somebody. Up the prices right now. Up it.
I need to go around.
That's crazy. Wow. No, but if a chumash went that fast, okay, there's only 5. Givaldik. Beautiful. Okay, MDY art. Did I say? I don't know where I am. I'm serious. This is it's the last day of Tumen Tahara, and it's half the shear. I got to get this klar. Modly, I didn't say this. Innovations LLC. I almost skipped this. As a schos, give simcha ben fega. V'iska lerois ba. Oy v'iska. As a schos, right? Give simcha ben feigo. Amen. And Rivka Yudas bas Yavachaya Shidduch Hogum Bekorov. MDY art. For Shleima Yonatan Eitan ben Beshav Bracha. For Shleima Mordechai ben Esther. The Fus Hayele Daniel Zeb ben Ayelet Esther. All right. The boy say, here you could save these thread and you could sell it later. I can't even see the words now. Oh, boy. Huh? Tears. No. It's a good shaila. Wow. All right. Rabbi Isai, we're holding 6 lines from the bottom of Lamed Daled on base. We're talking about the hands of a person that Chacham instituted a tumah, they're considered a sheni. So, Rabbi Isai, I have my dead sheretz over here. This dead sheretz is an av hatumah. A dead sheretz, av hatumah. If this dead sheretz touches this grapefruit right over here, the grapefruit goes down 1 level and becomes a rishon. So let's find the rishon here. This Rabbi Isai, what is this? This is Chullin. Chullin. This, because a mouse touched it, it becomes a rishon. If this grapefruit touches this grapefruit, what does this become? Sheni. Great. If this grapefruit touches this grapefruit, becomes a shlishi, which is if it's whatever, it's a shlishi. Let's say shlishi. What does the shlishi do? This could be altaris a truma. It could be chulin that you did altaris a truma, altaris a kodesh. You had more shmir on this. Okay, so Ula says that if you eat a shlishi, you eat this, take a bite. He says that you're not allowed to eat truma. The kohen who eats from this shlishi, his body becomes a shlishi, and therefore he can't eat truma. So says the Gemara, Eisvei Rav Amnuna le'ula. Harishon shebechulin. This guy right over here, Rishon shebechulin. This grapefruit, it's a chulin. It's a very simple grapefruit that you bought in the store. It's a rishon. Tamei umitame. If it touches truma, this Rabbi says truma. This is truma. So this truma becomes tamei, but also mitame. Mitama means that it has enough power to pass it on. Not only is this fruit tamei, but it's mitama. It gives off tumah. So we put it right over here. This is a fruit, a truma fruit, shtickle spoiled, that touched a chulin. This fruit right over here touched chulin, which was a rishon. It's powerful. Rishon is very powerful. It's so powerful that it makes this truma tamei, and also if this fruit touched another fruit, it would be mitama, like we saw over here. It makes this guy sheni. Next, vasheni. This guy, this chulin guy, that's a sheni, only passes a truma. So take it. If this is truma and it touches a sheni, so it only becomes pasul. Pasul means it doesn't have the ability. Maybe we should. Looks a little bit. It's too crowded. I see the screen. I see what they're seeing over there a little bit too much. Okay, this goes together with this. Hold on. We'll see in a second. This made this truma. This is truma. We could even here. We'll put another little guy over here. This is truma. And this is truma. Okay. This peach is truma, and it's only pasul. Pasul means the tumah does not transfer to another fruit. What about a shlishi? Vashlishi nechal b'nezid adema. Wow. I need nechal b'nezid adema. So, this peach, which touched the final grapefruit, the shlishi grapefruit, that's fine. You put it in nicely. Shkoyach. But you have to see this as shlishi. Yeah, you can see this as shlishi. This way. This shlishi that touch this fruit, if we were to grind up this peach and make it into a spice, you could actually, it has so little tumah in it, it has so little tumah transferred from this grapefruit into this peach, that I can use this peach as a spice in my chont, my truma chont.
What does that mean? Nechal ben Azid?
It's edible. You could eat it in a dish. It doesn't have, Nechal ben Azid means, Nazid is a chont. Here, let me show you real quickly. Here's the video from yesterday. Here, let's just watch the video to understand what's Nechal ben Azid. This is an Azid. This is a Chullin. I can take truma and put it in here. Now this is a shlishi. This is a Chullin a shlishi. You did not wash Nagavasiv, so his hands are still shiny. Okay, that is so. This shlishi guy, you could still pour in truma into it. Now here's the thing. It's Chullin. It's Chullin that it was al taras hatruma. Taras hatruma, to remind the olam. Where's my guy? Here. The guy's a faker, not a faker. It's a fake. It's a fake truma. He's treating that cholent, that grapefruit, whatever it is, he's treating it with respect as if it's truma. It's not truma. He didn't get it from a Yisrael. It wasn't a fruit that you have to give a kohen. He bought it in the store, this cholent. It's regular cholent. It's Chullin. But he treats it al taras hatruma. Now this Rabbi Isai is a key thing right here. How do I know that this case is talking about that he treated it with taras ha-truma? Because he poured truma into it. How can you pour truma, spices, into Chullin? You can't. Into something that wasn't watched well. So it must be that he poured truma into the Chullin because it was very, very watched. It was kept with the most extreme chumras of truma. He treated it like truma. But if this truma fell into a shlishi, this taras truma became a shlishi. How did it become a shlishi? Somebody with pink hands, shiny hands, touched it. I could still pour truma into it, even though it's al taras truma. What did Ula say? Ula said that if somebody eats a shlishi, his whole body becomes tamei, to the point where he's not allowed to eat truma. So what are you telling me? You're telling me that a kohen is allowed to eat from this chont? And what's going to happen when he eats from this chont, according to Ula? His body is going to become tamei. Says Rashi, that's the Issa D'Oraisa. You're not allowed to make your body tamei. Tosfos argues with Rashi. But Rashi holds you're not allowed to make your body tamei. So the problem is, and this is a very, very dakas dikin nekuda. It's not like mefurish here but if you look at the long Rashi on Omar Aleph, you'll see this point. So Nachamal, the guy made this cholent al taras hatruma, and it's a shlishi, and I told him go ahead and eat it. Afilu ben azid, nechal ben azid. You're allowed to eat the cholent, but according to Ula, if you eat the cholent, it makes your body tamei. You're not allowed to make your body tamei. Answer. Listen to this answer. You're allowed to eat this cholent, and it doesn't make your body tamei. You know why? Because it's so insignificant what you put in there. How much spice did you put in there? Let's say you put a teaspoon, it has to be a kazayis. So in a chont, think about a kazayis of salt. Let's say you put a kazayis of salt into a chont. How much chont do you have to consume in order to get that entire tablespoon of salt? The entire pot. How are you going to eat an entire pot in 9 minutes? The most chumrah shear in the world of kedei achila. Let's go back. Leila Seder. You're eating matzah kazayis. How many minutes do you have to eat the kazayis? You don't have forever. You have between 3 and 9 minutes, depending who you hold like. Some people 2. If you hold like Reb Chaim Nah, so the kazayis is much less, so you have much less time. If you hold like the Chazon Ish, kazayis is much larger. It's interesting. When you're super machmer in kazayis, you have a lot of time. Don't say, oh, I hold like Reb Chaim Nah, and my kazayis is this big, but I have 9 minutes. No, it's a contradiction. Because if you hold that a kazayis, okay, that's a different story. If you hold that kazayis is very large, you have a lot of time. How much time? Maximum 9 minutes. It's called, instead of Gemara doesn't have ever, they didn't have watches. They didn't have 6 minutes. So they call it a random thing. It's called Kedei Achilas Pras. As long as it takes you to eat a half a loaf of bread. Half a loaf of bread takes 9 minutes. How much do you have to eat in 9 minutes? Your entire amount of, you're going to miss the whole thing, Tzaddik. It's going to take you the entire amount of your kazayis of spices that you put into the cholent. That's impossible to be over the avera of eating true, because you're never going to do that. You're never going to. So maybe you're allowed to eat the cholent. So he says, "Would he bring me a raya from cholent?" If you had a source that said that you're allowed to eat real food, that's a shlishi, then you would have a problem. How do we allow a kohen to put that in his body when it's going to make his body tummy? We're only talking about a cholent, and a cholent is the spice, and the spice, in order to be over, you have to eat the entire thing, and you can't eat it within 9 minutes. So let's see inside. 3 lines from the bottom. By the way, I'm serious. I don't know about you guys. I know a bunch of people came to me after the shir last night. They said, we love these sugyas, the entire sugyas. A lot of people like it a lot. Today's the last day. I mean, pretty much. We're going into Agadat. Some people don't appreciate it. Some people really, I love it. It's geschmack. Pure Gemara. If you tell me that according to Ula, when you eat a shlishi, your body becomes pasul, and it cannot consume any truma any longer. Safin le'midi, the pasul le'gufa. You're telling him he could eat this shal that's a shlishi. Omer lei hanach le'nezid adema. Don't bring any raya from a nezid adashim, a cholent, hadema, that there's no truma. The lekke kezayis b'gdei achilas pras. It's impossible to eat the shear of the truma that you put in there in achilas pras. I'll show you this video again. You might understand it better. Again, I'll just explain it beforehand because it went by and it became more confusing than helpful. But it was very artistic. I like the fact that he has this MDY doll that's going on our merch center soon. I'm just joking. Don't have a heart attack. A pras means half. So half a loaf of bread. A bread is made out of 8 eggs. So half a loaf of bread is 4 eggs. Yesterday we spoke about chatzi pras. A half of a loaf of bread. That's 2 eggs. Now take a look. 4 eggs. I don't know. So half a loaf of bread, 4 eggs. The chatzi pras is 2 eggs. Okay? Still confusing. It's less confusing than yesterday.
Yeah, much less confusing.
But it's artistic. I mean, the whole thing, even the way he made the words out of eggs. I don't know. I can't do this. If they ask me to make the word baits out of eggs, I don't know. Whatever. Omer Rebbe Yonasan Omer Rebbe. He's basically repeating exactly what we just said with a small variation. Until now, we were talking about this dude. The guy that watches his food as if it's truma. All he does is he says, it is truma. It is truma. There's truma, and there's a guy that pretends that it's truma. Okay, he's wearing jeans and his shoes, and he's pretending it's truma. But it's not. And then Rabbi Yonasan says, no, we're talking about real truma. But the halacha is the same. And this Gemara is going to say at the end, the halachas remain the same. So then why did one pick truma and one pick he's pretending to be truma? Because each one has a little chiddush in it. And that's the next 8 lines, which is almost like a freebie. If a person eats the shlishi, the 3rd level of truma itself, not a pretend truma, also lechol, his body becomes a shlishi, therefore he's not allowed to eat truma. Umuter he's allowed to touch. His hands don't give off tumah. He says he's allowed to touch truma because he's only a shlishi. Says the Gemara, the Rabbi Yonasan. He had to come and talk about truma itself, and he was speaking about fake truma because each one has a little chiddush. The what? The Ula is talking about fake truma. He's pretending it's truma. He's watching it as truma. Truma. I would think dafka in a case when it's fake. I have a truma, but real truma, if you consume real truma, maybe I'll say you're not allowed to even touch truma. You are so tummy your body, you shouldn't be touching truma. Midrabbanan. Maybe Rabbanan made a gzeira. Stay away from everything. Benegiyah nami aser. Okay. This is Rabbi Yonasan. That's why I need Rabbi Yonasan. Rabbi Yonasan talks about real truma. The Rabbi Yonasan only spoke about real truma. Truma. Why am I so makbid on him? Because he ate real truma. Chullin. But if it's fake, it's really chullin. But he pretended that that's truma. Maybe he's only a shlishi, so maybe he could consume that chullin, grapefruit, that he was makbid on it as if it's truma. Tzrichi. I need both cases. Yosef, Rabbi Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta Kameid Rav Nachman. V'kol Amar. Oh, Yosef. Correct. I almost answered my own question. Yosef, he sat. Rabbi Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta Kameid Rav Nachman. V'Yosef, and he sat. The question is, why does it say he sat twice? He's mamish sitting. I almost took it out, so I wouldn't have a kasha. Shkoyach. V'kol Amar. So now we're going to play a game. Rabbi Isai, a real game. I showed you this chart yesterday. And this is today's sugya, basically, until we get to the Agadita, which is an Amud Beis, less than halfway down Amud Beis. Basically, there are 4 shittas over here. What? More people are sending in their things? Yeah. What you got?
Yeah.
People are fighting over certain things already.
Mantles.
Yeah.
What?
I like this idea that everybody's name is on the, everybody above 700, 720. What's 720? What is that? What do you get for 720? A pasuk? An amud. It'll be, okay, so people's names will be in there. Okay, cool. How many amudim are there? No, small words, the size of Gemara. As long as you see your name on it. It doesn't have to be the size of a Aron Kodesh word.
There's a character limit.
We'll have to figure it out. Okay, great. So this money is a fundraiser for MDY. It's not just for the Sefer Torah itself. It's above.
People can donate in honor of Fix finishing Shas also.
Well, it's shaykh to the Sefer Torah. Okay, well, they can do whatever they want. Okay, great. I like the Nakud. The Nakud is that every single person is involved. Everybody. Get an ice. How much is an ice? What's an ice? A word, $36. Be part of it, $36. But everybody has to be part of it. Even the kids have to be part of it. You have to start working. No, not your Safta. How much are you sponsoring? I'm putting you on the spot right now. How old are you? 11. In 2 years when you get bar mitzvah money, how much are you giving us? I need to know right now. I'm kidding. Everybody's going to be involved. Every kid. How much? You're sponsoring? You're giving $180 or 180 shekel? How are you going to give $180? How do you have $180? What? What? You bar mitzvah already? Oh my goodness. Get over here. He wants to be part of the Sefer Torah. Rabbi say, this kid is donating $180. Now I can't take your money. This is your parents are gonna have to sign off on it and everything. But just the idea that you wanted to, what's your name again?
Yakavari.
Yeah, I brought you up here like a number of times. You're like the number 1 kid here that comes up. But $180. Rabbi say, $180. It's more than my $30,000. What? He wants to know. Woman, come here. Why you don't? He wants to know why you're donating. In honor of what?
For you really helped me so much.
I helped you so much. How did I help you so much?
For learning and everything.
What a tzaddik. Come here, a big hug. Wow. I helped him so much. Yeah, unbelievable. Okay, but listen. If you want to be on the mantle in the back, it's 720. You'll have $80 left after you. Oh my goodness! What a day!
Everybody has a part of a mitzvah.
Everybody has a part of a mitzvah. How come you didn't speak?
It's hard for the English there.
Second language.
Wow. Wow. It's a lot of gifts over the years, but this is crazy. Okay. Weiter. Okay. So let's look at this chart. Rabbi says very super simple. The chart is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes in order. Mamish in order. So it's mamish. All we're going to do is we're going to read some Gemara, and we're going to see these shitas basically besides one of the shitas, which we're going to leave for tomorrow, I guess, or we actually had it yesterday. Chullin ataris hakodesh. Yeah, where's that Rebbe? Here, kodesh. A person treats his truma. Oh, his truma. His chullin. He treats his chullin as if it's kachim, as if it's a carbon from the mizbeach. We get rid of all these guys. Here, everything away. What?
Now we're pretending it's meat.
Now we're pretending it's meat. Yeah, we have to pretend this grapefruit is a piece of meat. And he's treating it with the most respect possible. It's called.
Take government money.
It doesn't take government money. It doesn't take government money, said. A person is treating chulin as if it's meat, as if it's meat right off the mizbeach. Shita number 1 is he did zero. It's chulin. What does that mean? You don't have the right to do that. Batla dait etzikol adam. If you do that with, let's see, where's the truma guy? No, oh here, this guy. Yeah, you touch it with the sheni, but we're talking about shlishi now. Chulin atas hakodesh, touch it with the sheni. You have the right to do it with truma. Why? Because you have Rabbi Schoenberg, you have Dani, you have all these kohanim that they need to be careful on a daily basis. People come to the door all the time, knock on the door, knock, knock. Here's a bag of grapefruits. Here's a bag of apples. So Donnie's wife has no clue who knocked on the door, who didn't. She's going to grab an apple and she's not going to be careful. So Donnie says, in my house, everything is truma. This is normal behavior. So if you want to treat your stuff like truma, that's great. But when you start being super makbid and start saying, well, maybe I'll get a steak from the Beis Hamikdash, that's not something common. Nobody does it. Your brain is batal dait etzikol adam. I don't care. So it's 0. He holds 0. That's one shita. Shita number 2 is it becomes a shlishi, but doesn't do anything. It itself is a shlishi. It doesn't have the power to go on and continue tumah. So it won't be a revi. Shita number 3 is it's a shlishi ve'oise kodesh revi. It makes a revi. And shita number 4 is not only does it make a revi, it goes backwards. It's super powerful. It can make a sheni. So we have number 4 says it makes a sheni. Number 3 says it makes a revi. Number 2 says it's a solid tumah, but it doesn't do anything. It's a 0. It doesn't continue. And 1 says it's a 0 should be 0. It doesn't even start. It's an afkamina. I am tameh, but I can't impart any tumah. That's a something. That's number 2. I am tameh. I can make very little tumah, a revi. I am so tameh, I can make a sheni. And number 1 says nothing. So now, when we read it in the Gemara, I'm just going to ask you, which one is it that we read? Because it's confusing. You'll read the words in the Gemara. You might not see if it's a 1, if it's a 2, it's a 3. It'll take you 5 seconds to chop what's going on here. Everybody could answer besides Ari Simon. Says the Gemara, Yosef Rav Yitzchok bar Shmuel bar Marta Kameder Rav Nachman, v'Yosef v'Kamar, ha'oichel shlishi shel chulin shenas al taras hakodesh. That's exactly what we're talking about. You see the headline? Chulin al taras hakodesh. It's a shlishi. Tahar lechol ba'kodesh. What are we now in the chart? Shein lechol dover shoyis revi b'kodesh. It cannot make a revi. Ela kodesh mekudesh b'vad. The only thing that could impart a revi, a shlishi to revi, is if it's gufay kadosh, if it's kadosh b'kedushas haguf. Meaning, I take a carbon to the Beis Hamikdash. I said that it's a chatos. Saying that it's a chatos is only words. Cutting its neck, shchita, creates a kedushas haguf. At that point, that's a kadosh kedushas haguf. It has the ability to impart tumah. But we're not talking about an animal that you brought to the Beis Hamikdash. We're talking about a grapefruit. Well, not a grapefruit. A piece of meat that you decided on yourself. It's chulin. You decided on yourself that it should be like a piece of meat from the mizbeach. so it doesn't have the ability to make it a revi. It stays at a shlishi. So on this chart, what number did we just read? Number 2 says it'll be Yossi. It's a shlishi that doesn't have the ability to make a revi. That's number 2. It's a little difficult. It takes a few seconds to. You could say maybe it's 1. No. It's not 1. 1 is 0. He says it is Tomei, but it doesn't have the ability to make a revi. That's number 2. Let's see inside. He could eat kodesh. He does not become a revi because ella kodesh mekudesh bavad. Only if he's kodesh kedushas aguf. Since he's only kodesh kedushas apeh. Rashi says kedushas peh. It was a kedusha like from his mouth. It's not kodesh enough. Says the Gemara, I don't like that. He says shlishi. If a person eats a shlishi, what happens to him? He goes up a level. Sheni l'kodesh. He's like a sheni. If he eats a shlishi, when it comes to kedusha to kachim, he's like a sheni. Ve'in sheni l'truma. He doesn't go up a level for truma. And we're talking about bechulin shenasu al taharas truma. This guy right over here, only in a truma. Amai halav kodesh mekudeshu. Why would it become a sheni? For kachim, you told me the only way to become a sheni for kachim is if it's the carbon itself. It's kodesh kedushas aguf. Omerlei hanach l'truma shetaharas tuma hietzel kachim. No. Hanach l'truma shetaharas tuma hietzel hakodesh. So I'll give you a very nice example. If I give you a suitcase with $1 million in it, and I tell you, take this suitcase from here to New York on a flight, will you fall asleep on the flight? Never. You won't fall asleep. Why? Because I gave you $1 million. What if I give you $1,000 to take to New York? You might fall asleep. You probably will fall asleep. When you're what?
If you carry a Sefer Torah.
I was thinking about it. If you're carrying a Sefer Torah like no one fixed, I don't want to bring that mashal because he did fall asleep and he did leave it in a certain place. No, I'm joking. The guy that has the gemach, I'm joking. He did walk away for it for like 20 seconds, like, hey, oh. It's a scary thing. Yeah, he was carrying it on his back the entire trip. It was crazy.
He said that every single mitzvah he's so machmir because he feels like he has $1 million in his pockets. He's so worried.
He's always worried. Okay, very good. So now let's take that back to us. If a person is makbid on food like kachim, that's $1 million. He's so nervous about kachim. It's mamish the top of the top. But truma, he's watching it. He's doing his friend a favor. It's a lot of money. It's $1,000. But he's relaxed. What's the worst comes to worst? Worst comes to worst. He lost that. So pay him $1,000. It's not $1 million. Truma, you watch it. But what's the worst? He ate it by mistake. Okay. Memela, the Gemara says that when you're looking at a guy that watches it for truma, it's like 0 compared to kachim. It's a 0. He didn't watch it at all. We have to treat it as if it's tummy. It's a different type of shmira. It's not in the same category of shmira. Memela, and the Gemara brings unbelievable raya. The Snan. Oh, sorry. Let's read it inside though. You're talking about a guy that was watching it al taharas hakodesh. He's making sure that the truma is kodesh. Taharas tuma. We treat it like tamei. He ate it like kodesh. How do you know that you do such a thing? You treat it like tamei. This not big the amaretz medrus leprushim. The clothing of an amaretz have a tum of medrus. Medrus means if I sit on it, if I stand on it, they become tamei. If a zav sits on a beged, if a nida sits on a beged, it becomes tamei like the person himself. Like it's an avatuma, this beged. If a person that has tuma sits on a couch, that's why all couches today, all chairs today, have the tuma of a nida, have the severe tuma. The only way to get rid of it is put it in a mikvah when Mashiach comes. Here, you have a person that has tuma. The tumah seeps right through all the mattresses, all the way down, even though they're not touching the bottom mattress. That's a visual from 2 years ago. Let me show you how it looks today. Beautiful stuff. It's a mixture of New York City and Eretz Yisrael. This guy is a Tumas Zav. Okay? I have a real picture of that. Emes in the Tzafon. 10 mattresses. All the mattresses become Tomei. Mattress. Oh, the mattress becomes like the Zav, it's Avatuma. And if you touch a mattress, you go down one level like a mouse touching the grapefruit. You go one level down, become a Rishon Tuma. Givaldik. So that was funny and Pshat.
That was both.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Zok the Gemara the Sam, Bigli Amaretz. Now the clothing from Amaretz, you have to be careful. Maybe his wife Nida sat on it. So the Tameh. He's Amaretz. He doesn't know how to watch stuff. But only to who? Medrus Leprushim. A Parosh is somebody who's careful to eat Chullin b'Tahara. All his grapefruits, everything he buys from the store, he treats it with respect of Tahara. But he's just a Parosh. Big Day Prushim. You think you're so machmer? You're a nothing. You see this idea that it's like you're like a Tameh compared to Medrus Loichle Truma. You're a Parosh. You're a Yisrael. You're a nobody Yisrael who treats things like you're a Kohen. Very good. But you're a nobody compared to a real Kohen. Loichle Truma. And guess what? And you Kohanim, big shots. You think you're so good. Big Day Oichle Truma. The Kohanim that eat Truma, their clothing is nothing compared to Medrus LeKodesh. So you see this idea that Truma, if you're careful with Truma, you're nothing compared to Kachim. Amarava Medrashis Kamers, what do you bring me a ride from this case of mattresses and clothing? Shani Midrasois, Shemateshav Aleyan, Ishtenida. It's so common, everybody who has a wife has this issue, Shemateshav Aleyan Ishtenida, maybe his wife, the Nida, will sit on it and make it Tameh. So it's very common. Avo Bepeira, but we're not talking about Medrus. We're talking about fruit. That fruit should become Tameh is not so common. Lo Yamrina, we don't say this, that a person who's very careful with his fruit, that it should be like Truma, it's nothing compared to Kachim. Why is it nothing? It's on a high level of watching. Oh, but you brought me a ride for mattresses. That's common. So I have to be super careful. Maybe that if I'm careful with Kachim, someone that's careful with Truma, it's a zero compared to Kachim. But not when it comes to fruit. There's no difference. So even if I'm watching something al shmira al taharas at Truma, it's nothing for somebody that watches al taharas at Kodesh. Zog, the Heilige turning of the Daf, Adar Global Specialist in the National Financial Services, Chaim Milrad, Nishmasim Mirasi, Frali Etel, Bas, Yitzchok Elashol. Says the Gemara, Moshe Rabbi Yirmiyah Medifta, Umi Amrina Bepeira. How could you say that your mom is going on and on and on? There's still people texting you? Tell me the good ones, the big ones.
Someone wants to take the name.
What do you mean the name?
Moshe Rabbeinu.
What's the name? What does the name mean?
Voracious.
$72,000. There is a name? The name, what's the name? The actual Sefer Torah? Or the name? What's the name?
They're calling it Sefer Torah.
Oh, you want to put all the illusions in the front?
Whatever.
Hey, here. Rabbi Yitzchok. Rabbi Yitzchok. Do we say when it comes to fruit that a person is keeping a taras hakodesh, it's nothing compared to a kachim, but nan imamar? Oh, so Rabbi says, check this out. I'm telling you, there's so many new concepts here. It's unbelievable. And Amaretz, you know Amaretz, we don't trust him that he took Trumas HaMaisrus. And Amaretz, there's another thing that we never really spoke about, at least not in the last, I don't know when. Shalom, what's your name again? Shalom Aleichem. You look very familiar.
To invite the rebellion and MDY family to my dressing, if you will.
Really?
No one's invited.
Woman, are you going to daven chakras here?
Just announce it. No.
Mazel tov, unbelievable. Mazel tov. Beautiful. On the day of the bris, he comes to learn Torah. Okay, stop. I have a meeting now. He tells me he's coming, he's flying into Shmuz with me, and they bring a screen to my house. They're going to set up a whole thing. So I'm thinking that he's talking about the CRM. That was the part of your shtick? You are speaking about the CRM.
Yeah.
After the day. Okay. So Zog the Gemara. Listen to this. Beautiful halacha. In Amoretz, he's not believed to say that this barrel of wine, that this $10,000 barrel of wine, doesn't have tuma when it's truma. But if it's the super top level of kachim, it's kachim wine, he's believed to say there's no tuma. Again, and Amoretz is not believed on a barrel of wine that's truma, but on kachim he's believed. Why? We're not going to get into it, but if we don't believe him, he won't bring korbanos to the Beis Hamikdash. He gets insulted. Maybe he'll make his own mizbeach in his backyard. We don't want problems. You're invited like the rest of the Klal Yisrael. Okay, so Yamar, it's fine. What if he takes 1 cup of kachim and pours it into a giant barrel of truma? Do we believe him? What's your name? Shalom Aleichem? Aleichem Shalom. From where? Shalom Aleichem. Sorry, there's people, they hide out until I see them. Okay, very emotional day today. So Nachamal, he takes a cup of wine that's kachim, that we trust him, pours it into 10,000 cups of truma, which we don't trust him. Do we trust him now on the 10,001 cups? The answer is yes. Why? Because there's 1 cup of kachim that we trust him on, and Memela we have to trust him on the whole thing. Says the Gemara, but now we said in the Mishnah. If Amoret says, I took into this beautiful giant barrel of truma, I took 1 tiny revius, 87 milliliters, whatever it is, according to Reb Chaim Noah, the Chazanish, revius kodesh. Neman is believed that the whole wine is tar, and that little truma, the 10,000 cups of truma don't make the kodesh wine tame. But if you told me that when a person watches truma, it's a 0 compared to the kodesh, the tame truma kodesh, why doesn't the rest of the wine in the barrel make the kachim tame? No kasha, tumba b'chiburim kamer. So you're asking me a question about wine that's already mixed in and it's solid in the barrel. Tumba b'chiburim chani. When it's attached, it's different. Why? The mehemen kodesh. We do trust him on that 1 revius on the kodesh. Therefore, mehemen on the 10,000 cups, truma memenami on truma. Motzer Rav Huna bar Nasan. Here we go, Rabbi. So here's the game again, and then we wrap it up. It's the 6 more lines. Motzer Rav Huna bar Nasan. Hasheini shebechulin. You have chulin, that's a sheni. Mitam mashkin chulin. If a sheni, do we have to do this? Let's do it real quickly. This is a sheni. This is a regular grapefruit sheni. Rabbi say, if it touches this water, what happens to this water? Very good. Where's my rishon? Rishon. Here we go. Hold it out. Yeah. This becomes a rishon. It goes tchila, becomes a rishon. And therefore, this only makes truma puzzle, the food of truma puzzle. V'ashlishi chulin, that's a shlishi. Where's my shlishi? No, you don't have it. Oh, here's the shlishi. Shlishi. Mitam mashka kodesh, same thing. If it touches water, even though it's a very, very shvacha tuma, it's only shlishi. It makes this water a rishon upoisalachle kodesh, and it makes truma. This is the problem right over here. A revi. It's a problem. B'chul shenas adaras kodesh. Says Gemara. Oh, so if we look at the chart, what do we just read on the chart right over here? A shlishi becomes a revi. What do we just read? Number 3. A shlishi becomes a revi is number 3. So we saw number 2. And we saw our number 3. Tanoi, the Sanya chulin. Now check this out. We're going to read it quickly. Tell me what it is on the chart. The Sanya, it's a machlokes tanoim. Chulin shenasu ataras hakodesh. That's our case. Chulin hareyein kichulin. What is that in the chart? 1. Very good. The kid that gives $180, he's the first one to answer here. Rebbe Lazar Tzadik Oimer, Harei Hein Kitruma. What is that on the chart? Letame Shnayim. It has the ability to make two things tamei, to make a rishon and a sheni. And here's the key word: v'lifsal echad. It can make a shlishi. So what is that on the chart, Rabbi Isai? It's a shlishi. Number two. It's a shlishi, but doesn't make a revi. It's only a shlishi. That's echad. V'lifsal echad becomes a shlishi. Doesn't make anything else. Let's keep on going. And here's the Agadita. Rabbi Shimon Oimer Hukshu B'Shchita. We're not brand new sugi. Seriously, we're done with the Sheni Shlishi. That's it. So, Rabbi Shimon in the Mishnah said that if you shecht an animal and no blood comes out of his neck, says Rabbi Shimon, it's still. Rabbi Boyce, I got to tell you about Yossi real quickly. Well, I'll tell it to you tomorrow. I asked him to stop vaping, and I'm going to read a whole giant email from somebody, a whole maisa. But after Shir, Ari Simon went over to Yossi and said, why he's still smoking? So he says, because he bought two, what do they call it? Packs, the cartons in duty free. So he says, okay, so forget it. He says, no, it's expensive. So Ari Simon bought them off of him. Hey, give them to me. I'll tell you why. So you stopped smoking officially? Oh, you're going to Shabbos?
35 hours left.
So you give it to me quickly before you have charata. No, but I don't have time. We'll rip them up tomorrow. Give it to me. I'll tell you why I don't want to rip them up. I know a bunch of people, if I give them one pack of cigarettes, they'll join the share. Here, these are yours.
I don't know what to do with them.
I thought we have to rip them up in public.
I don't know. Okay, fine. Let's finish the sugi over here for a second. What a day! Yishkoyach. What's the guy's name for the Israeli that stopped smoking? Chananya Deutsch stopped smoking. Rabbi says, stop the vape. Stop the vape. Chananya Deutsch stopped smoking cigarettes. He comes over to me after shir. He says, my wife told me, I knew the shir gave you a new life. I didn't know that the shir took away your death. Omer Avasi, Omer Hoyer Reb Shimon. Shchitasi machsheres v'lo dam. Reb Shimon in the Mishnah says that the shchita, that makes it susceptible to tumah. You don't need a liquid. Shchita by itself. So it seems like the liquid doesn't even work. But dam is one of the 7 liquids. So now we're going to see there's a difference between blood and blood from a shchita. Blood from a shchita might not work. Let me say, Reb Shimon Omer, Huchshu b'shchita, it says, I have it right, because it says in the Mishnah, shchita gives it the susceptibility to tumah. My love, b'shchita v'lo b'dam. Oh, l'chari meant only shchita and not the blood. No, that's not a good raya. Loi av b'shchita. I'm still trying to prove whether Reb Shimon holds that blood has the ability to make something mukhshar l'kabel tumah. Toshma, Omer Reb Shimon v'chiyadom machshir. Alo shchita machsheres. He says mefurish. It's not the blood. It's the shchita. No, it's not a good raya. Hachi Komarlan, perhaps I can push it off and say, v'chidam belvad machshir. Is it only the blood that's one of the 7 mashkim? Av shchita machsheres. Av shchita nami machsheres. Shchita is also something that machshir. Toshma. Reb Shimon Omer dama meis in a machshir. So I want to show you real quickly. Check this out. There are 4 types of blood. We did it very, very nicely with ketchup instead of blood, ketchup. On the right, dam halal, very important. A guy, you shoot an animal and it bleeds after it dies. That's not shchita. It's from an arrow to the head. It's a different type of blood. This blood, second to the right, dam agafasai, blood that comes from an injury. He's still alive, but he's injured. He's bleeding. There's blood from a dead animal that died naturally, and then there's blood from the shchita. 3 different things. Here, let's take a look. There was something here. Also, very artistic, hard to understand maybe. Now they're nervous they're going to get eaten. Oh, Tashma Rav Shimon Omer, Dama Meis is that we're holding Dama Meis. This is an animal that died. It's one of the 4 types of blood we saw. An animal that dies naturally, no shchita, no bullet to the head, dies naturally and it's bleeding, or it has blood. Any machshir, that blood is not good enough for mukshal l'kabel tuma. Oh, here it is on the thing. My lav, you could infer from this, but hadam shchita machshir. If it's shchita blood, it is machshir. Loi, hadam chalal machshir. No, you're right. It's a very good diuk, but you don't go to the one all the way to the left. Go to the one all the way to the right. It's coming to infer from this that if the blood comes out of a wound that caused it to die, not a shchita, then that's mukshal l'kabel tuma. But shchita, the one all the way to the left, doesn't have the ability to be machshir l'kabel tuma. So what? Avadam shchita mai. So what are you going to tell me that what? Lo machshir. It doesn't have the ability. So then say the bigger chiddush and say that shchita blood is not real blood. It doesn't have the ability to be machshir l'kabel tuma, and certainly blood that comes from a dead animal. No, I need to say the blood of a dead animal. What's the difference how it died? Whether a person killed it or it died on its own. There is a difference. If you kill an animal, then the blood is mukshal l'kabel tuma. If the malchamavis kills the animal, it doesn't have the ability. Tashma, Reb Shimon Omer. It's almost like my Krishma. What time is it? How? Tashma, Reb Shimon Omer. What do you want to stop over here? We'll stop over here. Fine. Rabbis will stop over here. Rabbis, I have a wonderful day. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Merit
the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.